Tupac Shakur's godmother, Assata Shakur. What's up, everybody? It's your girl B Octavia, and I am back with another video. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is B Octavia. I am from Washington, D.C., and I'm also an entrepreneur. Jumping right into this video, today I will be talking about Tupac Shakur's godmother. Now, I believe it was my previous video, I did say auntie or something like that, but I was just getting too excited about it, okay? I was really happy to record this, and I'm even happier to put it out to y'all to see what y'all are thinking about as far as this goes. Now, today we will be talking about Assata Shakur. She is known as an activist who just so happened to be the first woman on the FBI's most wanted list and still is the only woman on that list today. Now, Miss Shakur cannot be mistaken with Tupac Shakur's mother. I did see that when Miss Assata Shakur passed away, a lot of people mistook her for Assata Shakur. And these two women cannot be mistaken on this platform, okay? You can't get it mixed up. But I did find the connection between Miss Assata Shakur and Miss Assata Shakur, and both of them were a part of the New York Panthers together. And during that time, a lot of the Black Panthers took on the Shakur surname, meaning last name. So throughout this video, you will hear quite a lot of people with the last name Shakur, but a lot of them are not related, etc. They are family as far as the bond they have within the Black Panthers and the Black Liberation Army, but they are not blood. But although Assata Shakur was first Tupac Shakur's godmother, Assata has a brother named Tulu. Tulu Shakur married Afeni Shakur, becoming Tupac Shakur's stepdaddy and making Assata Shakur a step aunt. So although it didn't start by blood, they did consider each other family, and they did grow into a family, which is a beautiful thing. And now that we've cleared that up and we have the connection, we will get into Miss Assata Shakur. Assata Shakur, born Joanne Deborah Byron, July 16th, 1947. She is a former member of the Black Liberation Army. The Black Liberation Army was a underground Black Power revolutionary organization that operated in the U.S. for about 11 years. And their goal was to take up arms for the liberation and self-determination of Black people in the U.S. The BLA carried out a series of bombings, killings of police officers, drug dealers, robberies, and prison breaks. So we will get into the BLA and the Black Panther movement as a whole in another video. But however, let's get back to Miss Assata Shakur. Assata Shakur grew up in New York City and Wilmington, North Carolina. From what it looks like to me, she got shuffled around. Her living environment was very toxic, which led her to run away numerous times. Assata's aunt was able to act as a lawyer for her and gain guardianship, and she took Assata in. Her aunt was a civil rights worker, which inspired her hugely in fighting for the rights of her people. Assata never ran away again and was able to graduate high school and college. Towards her college years, she did get arrested for the first time, and I believe that was a protest, like a stand-in or something like that, and a lot of people got arrested that day. After college is when she began using and going by the name Assata Shakur. As a result of Assata Shakur's involvement with the Black Panther Party and the Black Liberation Army, between 1971 and 1973, Assata was charged with several serious crimes. She was also the subject or target of a multi-state manhunt. In May of 1973, that manhunt ended when she was arrested after being wounded in a shootout. Assata was accompanied by two fellow members of the BLA, aka her family. In this shootout, one state trooper was wounded, one state trooper was dead, and one of Assata Shakur's fellow BLA members was killed. Between 1973 to 1977 is when her very serious charges like attempted murder and murder began to fall at her feet. Along with being charged with attempted murder and murder, Assata was also charged with kidnapping, bank robbery, armed robbery, and all of these charges stem from that shootout that was on the New Jersey Turnpike and 6 other incidents. Assata ended up getting acquitted of 3 of the charges, and 3 other charges were dismissed. And now we are in 1977. In 1977, though she was convicted of the murder of 1 state trooper and 7 other felonies attached to the 1973 shootout, while serving a life sentence for murder at the Clinton Correctional Facility for Women, Assata escaped in 1979. This was only 2 years after being convicted of the murder of that state trooper. In early 1979, a group of BLA members began to plan for Assata Shakur's breakout. And by November 2nd, 1979, their plan was in motion, and their plan unfolded exactly the way that they wanted. 3 members of the BLA visiting her that day pulled out 45 caliber pistols, a stick of dynamite. They got 2 COs as hostages, stole a van, and escaped. No one was injured during the prison break, and the 2 COs were dropped off at like a nearby parking lot and left there. Assata went from North Carolina, where she was being held, to Pittsburgh. Then finally in 1980, she relocated to the Bahamas. 5 people ended up being charged in aiding in her escape. Although 5 people were arrested in 1988, only 2 people, Matulu Shakur and Marilyn Butch, were convicted of several robberies as well as aiding in the escape of Assata Shakur. By 1984, she had migrated from the Bahamas to Cuba, and that year she was granted political asylum in Cuba. After granting her untouchable freedom, the Cuban government paid $13 a day towards her living expenses. I'm not sure if they still doing that, but they looked out for her for sure, right? I try not to be biased because she's a woman, you know, or she's the underdog, or, you know, she had a hard life. You can't be biased towards that, because what a person gets their name attached to, you can detach it. You can turn it into a positive, and I don't see a lot of positive with the BLA or the Black Panther Party or movement. You know, I like it as far as if we're going to talk about uplifting each other, if we're going to talk about standing with each other. But if we know that the government has an agenda against us and we have an agenda against them, who really wins? If we all know that they're more powerful, more capable, they can really set you up as far as putting you away forever, and you can't do that. It's like fighting fire with fire, and not everybody on the government side gets burned, but all of us did. I'll get deeper into that, but let's stay focused, right? Me personally, a life on the run is not a life. And I really just see it as running from your problems, running from what you have to take care of, and running from potentially becoming a better person. And you can't think that the government's agenda can be solely directed to you, and it's not because of your association. A lot of people from that time sadly got attached to organizations like this because they didn't have a sense of family. You know, they might have had one person or a couple people that really cared about them, but to have like a collective family where all of y'all look out for each other, that seems ideal, but it gets toxic. We see that in street gangs. We see that a lot in today's time. So it don't really lead nowhere positive, even if you started it thinking positive, you know? And at the end of the day, you had to run from that too. Of course, I will be getting deeper into the support and the love that they have for each other and how deep that goes. It's all understandable, but where does it lead? And not a lot of people even today are talking about the truth behind what was supposed to be so positive that turned into us having an agenda against. We can't fight fire with fire and expect not to get burned. It seemed like it was very unrealistic to feel like we superheroes and we inferior, or what's the word, we are indestructible, when we are not. And that's what a lot of people in today's time get confused. You can be an activist, you can be pro-black, but you ain't gotta spread hate for any other organization. You ain't gotta spread hate for white people, even though it's white people that hate us. We doing our thing with our pro-black stuff, you know, with our positivity. We don't have to talk about no other race for us to feel good. We ain't gotta call them no names. We ain't gotta tear up their shops. We don't have to kill police officers to make our point. Even, what's his name? Even LeBron James got in trouble for that. He got in trouble for spreading so much hate and posting about the officer that killed that 15-year-old girl that was holding a knife. And he was like, you're next and all this. Listen, that's what, think about it like this. That's what they want you to feel like. So you can prove that you are the savage that they say that you are. And you can be a savage positively now. You can be unapologetic with how you feel. You can be pro-black, but keep it positive. Because I swear to God, you'll end up running from all of your troubles. You'll end up running from your homeland. And then you end up calling Cuba or the Bahamas your homeland.